You know, here the desert has its own rules.
And when we picked him up, we recognized it's not a land turtle.
And the vet came back to us and said that it's not fixable at all.
I'm Emma and this is Edu. We're the founders of Tenerife Horse Rescue.
We are a small non-profit, self-founded, eco-friendly animal sanctuary born in 2018. We are run by a great big family of volunteers.
And an even bigger animal family. Don't forget to press the subscribe button to follow our Finca Life adventures every week.
So this is Wasabi, one of our current rescues. Wasabi is a water turtle, and actually we rescued him here on the island. He was living with a family, and unfortunately they thought that he is a land turtle, so they kept him in an apartment, and he did not have water to swim in. Then, due to family issues, they called us and they said if we could take care of Wasabi and have a look at him. So we went there and picked him up. And when we picked him up, we recognized he's not a land turtle, he is a water turtle. So he was also pretty sick when he came here. His skin was kind of peeling, and also the shield here on the back looked very bad. And he was did not really move a lot. So we knew that we could not bring him to the pond right now, so that we need to observe him a little bit. So actually why we built this little kind of water pond for him, just so that we can have a look every day. And the first time, and unfortunately we do not have a footage of this, I set him on this stone here and he went into the water and he was really happy. He started to wash himself with his little flippers, and he was taking his neck in and out. So it really looked like he was washing himself and enjoying the water very much. Unfortunately, the first 2 days he did not eat. He tried to eat, but every time when he tried to get some food into his mouth, he was too weak some kind, and the food always slipped out. Within the last couple of days he improved incredibly. He's very agile, he goes in and out of the water, he's wandering around the whole area here, and he's eating like there is no end to it. So it's really, really lovely to see that, and therefore, because he recovered, we decided today that we will release him into his pond. And there are 4 other water turtles, so he has kind of company, and he has of course much more space to swim and to enjoy his life. So let's go and have the new adventure in the big pond with your colleagues. Come on, Wasabi, there is a big new pond for you. Oh, and I'm really excited because I'm really curious if he kind of runs into the water, you know what I mean, or if he maybe is confused. Look at this. Oh, now he's running. Yeah, very nice. Oh, so nice. I mean, that's absolutely new for him, you know. He stayed such a long time without water, and now it's more deeper water. Yeah. So that's really cute. That's his new home, yes. And so what you can see here is a natural 3-part pond, which contains reeds and is an ecosystem, and has also constant running water. So sometimes the water is cloudy and dirty depending on the weather. There are 4 other water turtles in there. You barely see them because sometimes they're on the surface, so you can see the bubbles or the little heads. Ah, look, he's trying to eat. That's a good sign. Now he's gone.
So these are the seeds of the flamboyant tree. It's also called the flame of the forest. People like to plant them along the roadsides. So when I go to the next town, next time I will bring some more fruits for them, planting them next year. We have chosen the flamboyant to give really shade on the road. And they are very resistant against the heat and the drought. But as we don't have money to buy the trees, we grow them from the seeds. So we put them simply in a cup of water for 4 or 5 days until they're really soaked full with water. Then they will come into the soil, and within a few weeks they start growing them. So I will show you how the young trees look like. So that's the first one I planted This one is now 1 year old. As long as they are still young and growing, we keep them protected. Every one of these empty pots actually will be a tree later. We plant them along the Tricessa Road to get some shade there on the road. And we already started to prepare the area. You know, here the desert has its own rules when it comes to gardening. Everything we are doing here, more or less everything is an experiment. We can do this with the trees now because I was experimenting throughout the last year. Now that we know what we are doing, we can do it in big style, big scales, you know. This whole process might take a year or two, and then I'm ready to go out of the greenhouse and do it, you know, in the real world. For example, the soil is often that dry that it literally rejects the water. So if we just plant something and put some water afterwards, it will never reach the roots. That means we put the water first and the plant afterwards.
Hi.
As much as possible.
It is just, you can see the rejection of the water happening
Yeah.
at the side there. Just
Yeah,
tumbling in to be more dust.
look at that. Yeah, I think that's nice as it is. Good. Let's get our tree. Finally, the big moment has come for my little babies. So the roots have grown beautifully. Everything is as it should be. Soil is filled at the top. So now you don't even see that it has been watered. All the water is where it should be, at the roots. There's no evaporation. Okay. Good luck, baby.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Luna, who you probably didn't expect to see ever again. I don't know if you remember, but 10 days or 2 weeks ago we talked about Luna, and we had an x-ray done on her foot by the vet to see if it was fixable, and the vet came back to us and said that it's not fixable at all. At that point, Luna was a really sad donkey. She had no light in her eyes. She looked very lethargic all the time. She was very thin. She was spending a lot of time lying down, and so she looked in pain, and she looked like she wasn't having any quality of life at all. And so when we decided that the foot isn't fixable, we asked the vet to come and put her to sleep. The night before the vet was coming to put her to sleep, I came in to give them their food, and Luna trots across the paddock to the food box, and I went, hang on a minute. This is a change of events. And so I put her on a lead rope and led her up and down the paddock, and she didn't seem to even be lame on this foot. And then I noticed that she's actually put on a fair bit of weight, considering it's only been a couple of weeks that she's here. And right now she looks a bit tired, it has to be said. But there's a light in her eye, and there's an ease to her movement that wasn't there before. So I called Emma and I said, I think maybe she heard us talking about the fact that we were going to put her to sleep, because she seems a lot better. Emma was dubious because we'd seen how bad she was when she came, and came down to have a look. And we took her for a walk around the finca, and she was trotting and she was jumping off the edge of the steps, and she just looked like she was having a really nice time. So we said we'd hold off on the putting her to sleep, and we will just take each week as it comes, and then we will see how she goes. But at the moment her quality of life is good. So what we've done is put some little boots on her front legs, which doesn't change the fact that the bone is deformed. It doesn't change the fact that her foot is on the wrong way. But what it does do is give padding and cushioning to that fit, so that it's not hitting the hard rocks ever, and we hope that makes her feel a whole lot more comfortable. Yesterday she went out with the other donkeys to eat grass in the paddock, and she's got herself a boyfriend here. She's with Lennon, and so yeah, her life generally is a lot better than we thought it was going to be. So we're not putting her to sleep just yet, which is really good news for her and us.